There it is. I found Red October. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out The Hunt for Red October, and this is a movie that I've heard a lot about, a lot of good things about. This is a movie that my dad absolutely loves, but I have never seen it before. I know that Sean Connery is in it. The good old Sean Connery cannot do his impression. I feel like that would be rude because I feel like I'd be destroying his legacy with this one impression that I would do very poorly. But I've heard that this movie is really good. I think it takes place in a submarine. Don't know what they're hunting for. Maybe the submarine is called Red October. That would make sense. I don't see why they would be hunting for the date of October, the month of October. That doesn't make any sense. So I think the submarine maybe is called Red October. 1990. I'm thinking maybe this is like a Cold War-esque film. I know the Cold War had kind of slowly ended by the 90s, but still, I think that this will probably be like an American versus Russian submarines sort of battle. It is 2 hours and a bit long, so it's a pretty long movie to be solely in a submarine, so there must be some stuff outside of the submarine unless I am mistaken and it is in a submarine. But in that case, I'm excited for all the tension that is going to be built, because inside a submarine, can you imagine being in this little space with so many people for so long? It's like you would start to kind of feel like you're exploding. You start to feel very claustrophobic, and I think you can do a lot with this movie, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Before we get into this reaction though, let me do the lighting. So let me turn on the light and we can decide what color it should be. Boop. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, it's the color today. You know what color I'm gonna do. I'm going blue. I'm joking, I'm going red. Blue would be a better color for this movie because it's a submarine movie and it's in the ocean, but I'm going red because red is in the title, so how can I not go red? And if you'd like to check out more of my reactions, you can head over to my Patreon, where I have uncut reactions to many of the movies I watch on YouTube, as well as early access reactions to my movies that come out 1 week early. There are also 2 exclusive Patreon movies a month that you guys on Patreon get to choose. Thank you so much if you check it out. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, let's just start this thing. I am really excited. Let's just submerge into this movie, and I hope you enjoy my reaction to The Hunt for Red October. What did I say? Soviet, of course. Just outside the Grand Banks. They're framing it like a true story. Is that Sean? I didn't even notice. That looks like Sean though, the more I looked at it. Sean Connery is Russian? What? 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 That's very unexpected. Ooh! The score, man! Alec Baldwin? What a time to be watching an Alec Baldwin movie after the incident on his latest film, The Hunt for Red October. So I think Sean Connery's sub is called Red October. That's my guess. Tim Curry's in this movie? I love that man. James Earl Jones is in this movie. Darth Vader, Mufasa himself. Stellan Skarsgård. This cast is impeccable. I like the Russian music over these Americans. Oh my god, of course this guy made the music. Of course this guy made the music. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited now. Jane de Bond. Isn't that Speed? Isn't that the Speed guy?
Air rises, cooler descends, turbulence. I don't like that.
Try to get some sleep anyway.
She's a flight attendant. She would know what turbulence is, isn't it? Wouldn't she? Oh, it's a Tom Clancy novel? I didn't know that. I've never read one of those before, but there's a lot of movies and video games based around his novels, so good for that guy.
Jack, boy, get yourself in here. Jesus.
I recognize that voice anywhere.
He announced to Caroline and I the other day that her life would be considerably less lonely if we were to buy her a baby brother. British intelligence obtained these pictures 2 days ago. She's the Red October, the latest Typhoon class.
Yeah. What a beaut.
Satellite caught Red October in Polyony Inlet this morning.
That's not good. But also, it is good. This reminds me of the shot, the very first shot in Star Wars when the ship comes onto the screen, just to show the size of this vehicle, you know?
What?
A whale, Beaumont, a whale.
This sub is actually going down.
This piece of Pavarotti.
It was Paganini.
Whatever. It was Paganini.
This is my story.
It matters, okay?
Pavarotti.
Coming out their asses. Jones here.
Oh, see you later, boys. It's nice knowing you. You seem very nice. If you see them, then they see you. Submarines are one of the scariest things in the world to me. Can you imagine getting shot in a submarine? Like, not you getting shot, but the submarine getting shot, and then water spilling in, and you know there's no chance of survival for you? This guy! This guy! I forgot his name. Can someone please tell me how good of Russian they are speaking? I feel like they are not speaking great Russian, but I don't speak Russian, so maybe they are speaking great Russian. Also like that there's no subtitles.
Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured forth his bowl into the air, and a voice cried out from heaven.
Oh, I like that a lot.
About the end of the world.
I like that a lot. What the heck? That's so cool.
I am become death.
He's still speaking Russian, but they're just translating it to English for us. That is cool. So he's in charge, right? The comrade is in charge of the captain. Even though the captain's suit looks fancier. It looks like a nicer suit.
And that he was your student. It's rumored he has a special place in his heart for you.
Doesn't everyone?
Polyani on or about the 16th of this month. Captain.
That water is going to be shaking soon. They wouldn't close up on that. What the heck?
Where I am going, you cannot follow.
What the heck is happening? What? He just killed him. Okay, maybe Sean Connery's character knew about this plan. That is a beautiful submarine. Look at that curve.
Damn it, Phil! Tell him to slow down!
That helmet is really not fitting Alec Baldwin's head very well, is it?
No, too close to the screws.
What if they're engines or something?
They really built this. This isn't a mock-up or anything.
She put to sea this morning.
That's bad. That's not good. The stakes are high. Tim Curry!
Come here. Come here.
No, he's just a poor little chef.
And I'm keeping it myself.
Captain, I think we should report this.
What? That means you have all the power. What are you doing, Sean? Soviet Typhoon class submarine not previously recorded.
Beaumont, not if we stay in his baffles. Come in behind his
Interesting.
propeller, as deaf as a post.
So there's blind spots on submarines? That's cool. Sean, what are you doing with these two keys? You gotta tell me, man. You gotta tell me the plan.
And once more, we play our dangerous game
Ah,
of chess
the
against
yes.
our old adversary, the American Navy.
Every single word he says is pure gold.
The order is engage the silent drive.
Eyes up. Balance control. Open up.
Oh, they're not even using the silent drive yet? It's just gonna disappear from this American sub.
Caterpillar engaging.
I'm a sucker for lots of people singing at the same time in movies. I don't know why, but it's just something that I love.
Navigator, 250.
Yes, Newport's 250.
This is kind of epic with them singing the national anthem. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of missiles on that thing. I just realized that all of those things are missile launchers. Oh, Zooey Mama, that's bad. Let them sing. Let them sing. Here he goes. Yes! Let them sing! This is such a happy moment. Even though it's like the end of the world approaching. Yeah. The camera work in this movie is very good. What did it say? What did it say? What did it say? What did it say? Because the Russians don't know about this sub, right? The hunt for Red October either, right? Because they just changed course without telling anyone. So this is kind of a matter of world emergency.
Good afternoon, Admiral.
Afternoon, Matthew.
Where are we going anyway?
Briefing for Jeffrey Pelt.
Sub level 4? How many levels are there underneath the White House?
Give him direct answers. Tell him what you think. Come on.
I like Earl's character. I like James. He's nice.
We believe called the Red October in reference to the October Revolution of 1917.
Oh, that does make sense. Okay.
And destroyers indicating they were preparing to sail. This constitutes the bulk of the Soviet surface fleet.
I don't think they're going for America, though. I think they're just going for October.
The Soviet fleet sailed with orders to find Red October and sink her.
Ah.
500 miles on the coast. We'll have less than 2 minutes more.
I like this movie. I like where this is headed.
You son of a bitch!
Everyone, what? What is it, Alec?
Something to our discussion, Dr. Ryan?
You weren't having a discussion. You were just having an argument.
And he's not Russian. He's Lithuanian by birth, raised by his paternal grandfather.
Ah, that's how they're talking around his accent. Okay.
Of his wife's death.
Oh, come on. You're just an analyst. What can you possibly know what goes on in this mine?
Shut up.
Which means I'm a cheat and a liar. And when I'm not kissing babies, I'm stealing their lollipops. But
I kind of like that line. That's good.
hey, wait a minute. We're not talking about some stray pilot with a MiG. We're talking about
I think he is
$7 billion
defecting.
worth of soap.
I think he is defecting.
Take their reputation on a hunch. Whereas you
Are expendable.
Yikes. That's the harsh way of putting it.
What are you doing?
3 days to find Ramius, help him defect. I think he is defecting. Just thinking back on everything that he's done and like all of his actions, it feels like he's defecting.
Leveling at 900 meters.
Can you imagine the entire fleet is after you?
Well, if you like Bush, but
Oh, I was trying to see if I could hear singing.
Well, for comparison.
Thank you, Doctor.
Why are they so mean to him? It's Tim Curry. He's a beautiful man.
He didn't sleep on his tea, did he?
Slip on his
think I like
tea.
your tone.
That was a lie. This is why he became a submarine pilot and not a creative writer.
I dispatched a letter to Admiral Bedore, in which I announced our intention to defect.
Ah, let's go. They are defecting.
Something that made you unable to simply slip away. Was it ego, Captain?
We
Yeah,
each have a
it could have been. I can't believe he did this to his crew, though, you know?
more tea anyway.
It's kind of, it was like, it's, sure, it'll motivate them, but also you're putting all of their lives in way more jeopardy.
Oh, Moscow is not the worry. Nor the whole Soviet Navy.
What? I think it is.
The worry is the Americans.
Oh yeah, not knowing if you're defecting.
We get some buckaroo.
Oh, Alec Baldwin ain't no buckaroo, but at the same time, he's a big buckaroo.
Confused, it kind of runs home to Mama. I'm not following you, Jonesy. Sir, I'm sorry. Listen to it.
He's figured out how to find the sub. Oh, he's actually figured it out.
Earthquake. You don't believe it. You come up with this on your own.
Because he's a genius. He's mad genius. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He deserves a gold star or something.
Now that I know what to listen for, I'll bag him. Carry on. Yes, sir.
Carry on my wayward son.
Soviet warships bearing down on us, they get a bit more complex.
Smoke.
Yeah. Also, just being in the sub with missiles going towards America, like they're gonna shoot you down.
Academic, right?
Yes, sir. I think I see your point.
I mean, don't the Russians already know that they have the boat though?
Chief outside will fix you up.
Thank you, sir.
But I do understand what the guy's saying.
Captain.
But I was just saying, like, even if the Russians did go back and they're like, oh, they have the boat, I'm pretty sure that Russia would already know that.
Kill. That kid spent 10 months in traction and another year learning to walk again.
That's why he's turbulent.
Mr. Komarov, you may commence your run now.
Aye, sir. First leg on my...
Sure starts running down the hallway of the submarine.
Map is accurate enough.
That's a good line. You can be super good, but if the map ain't accurate, you ain't gonna get through those canyons.
Increase speed to 26 knots and recompute.
Hello? Why? Also, the guy's like, oh, I was on the phone with you. Oh.
1, Mach.
Diving control, come left to 195.
Come left to 195.
Why are you making this guy's job so much harder?
Very good. Maintain course and speed.
Camera shots in this movie are actually really good.
Aye, sir. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
He's putting on a seatbelt. This is stressful. The music is also really good. It feels adventurous, but also dangerous at the same time.
No, yet, damn it! How long will it take to fix? I gotta find out what's wrong first.
Tim Curry gets put down every scene that he's in.
And engage the propellers.
Hi, Captain.
But every single sub will be able to see you.
Captain knows what he's doing.
I'm sure he does, but at the same time, he's just, you know, everything's too risky.
Several of the crew of the officers are sons of high party officials.
That's not, oh, he's lying.
But at this time, I think we're doing everything that can be done.
The man's lying, but also the ambassador knows. Oh, not the ambassador, the other guy knows that he's lying.
So on the boys.
Battle stations.
Battle stations! Battle stations! Battle stations!
Battle stations!
The weapon. You are authorized to launch the weapon.
Is that a torpedo?
Torpedo in the water.
Stand by.
Torpedo is active.
Oh, the sound of the radar as the only sound is genius.
Torpedo has reached countermeasures. Torpedo has lost contact.
Massive approaching.
No!
Time to torpedo impact.
Torpedo impact 35 seconds.
Increase the flank.
Full ahead flank. Full ahead flank.
He knows what he's doing. Look how calm he is right now. I would be freaking out. I'd be running around going, ah! I am so stressed.
Right full rudder. Reverse starboard engine.
Right full rudder. Hold back starboard.
Go, 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 go. This is insane. The music and the thing going faster and faster and faster, and it was just a close-up on his face. That was so good. I have chills. Oh, I have chills. It's such a good moment. This is why he is the god of submarine captaining.
Well, a caterpillar, in a way, not easy to find.
Captain, we have a saboteur on board.
It's the doctor. Of course it's the doctor. It has to be the doctor.
They're not trying to find Ramius, they're trying to drive him.
Drive him where?
To death.
What the hell for?
I think that Captain Mancuso has found the Red October.
He hasn't found anything, Jack. He's just waiting. He's not even sure what he heard.
Me, sir.
No, he's heard it. Yes.
Out of control and will be lucky to live through it.
I hope the guy ejected. I hope the guy ejected in time. I didn't see anyone eject though. I'm proud of him though. I'm proud of Jack. He's actually doing this. Ah, yes sir.
Labrador coast in 16 hours.
Half of them would freeze before they were rescued. Oh, it's Massachusetts or Maine.
Oh, he wants the crew to be alive too. What a nice guy. Except he did kill someone at the start. I keep forgetting about that. But it was necessary. But still.
Good. Then I will live in Montana.
Why?
Or, possibly even a recreational vehicle.
Oh, no. You wouldn't even dare have one of those.
No papers. State to state.
All right, commence your turn.
Oh, I'm worried that that guy's gonna die now because he just kind of said his dreams, and usually that ends up in death.
If we're too close, we'll drift right to the back of him.
Now, let's see if he can hear us.
You have all this ocean, and you're gonna run into a sub. How bad can you be?
No monuments.
I like this.
Only casualties.
Oh, I don't like it, but it's done really well, the voiceover.
My wife died while I was at sea, you know.
That's really sad, actually, not being able to be with her.
Joe! Hold up, Joe! I got a submarine at around 3 o'clock, about 2 miles.
Yeah! Is this a real submarine and a real helicopter? That's one of the things I wanted to ask, actually. Are these real submarines? I mean, some of... Whoa! That was cool. I'm gonna just shut up now. Oh, this looks so real. What the heck? This looks so good. Is he dead?
We are history.
They're like, okay, leaving him in the water to die. See you later, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin. Why did I think his name was Alan for a second?
How do you do, Captain? It's a pleasure to be aboard.
Oh my god, he's so sweet.
Excuse me. Coffee?
Thank you.
Cigarette?
Don't smoke.
Assuming we can't.
Cigarettes in a sub, I feel like, would be dangerous.
You say the boat's called the Red October.
That's right.
Skipper's Ramius.
Right.
We were ordered to destroy that boat. I really hope Red October doesn't sink. I really hope that everyone survives, but I doubt it. Do you remember Stellan Skarsgård? How he was in this movie at the start? Where is he now?
700.
That must feel weird, hey? That must feel weird.
Plot. Time to intercept this track.
4 minutes, Captain.
You have until then.
Very well, Mr. Ryan. 2 minutes.
Thank you for listening to him.
But they've invented this story that he's crazy because they need our help to sink him before he can safely contact us.
It's true. That's very true.
Has he made any crazy Ivans?
What difference does that make?
Because the next one will be to starboard.
Why, because his last was to port?
No, because he always goes to starboard in the bottom half of the hour.
Captain, there has to be some way you can establish contact without violating your orders. I'm telling you, he wants to defect.
Mr.
Use a really loud megaphone. Hey, sub.
Consular, Crazy Ivan.
Ah. Alec Baldwin's a genius.
All right, Ryan, we just unzipped our fly. Mr. Thompson!
I like that analogy.
Doors, firing.
We just unzipped our fly.
Do not open the doors.
It shows that you're friendly.
Bring us alongside him.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh, yes.
Report all contacts.
I'm so happy. This guy is so good. This captain is so good. Like two giant sharks in the water, swimming side by side. Dude, the submarine shots in this movie are really good, and I have no idea if they're real or not. I'm pretty sure they're fake. They're probably CGI. There's definitely some that are CGI. Like the trench stuff, definitely CGI. But it looked good. But like that shot, for instance, I don't know, that looked real.
Yeah, he can. Question is, will he?
Please. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's cool.
No, he was gonna go to starboard.
I didn't. I had a 50-50 chance and I needed a break. Sorry.
Oh my god, Alec is a lucky man. They're like, we're gonna attack you now. That's what the voice said. Imagine.
One ping only, please.
Does 2 by accident. Everyone's getting a little suspicious here. It's actually so intense. This movie is so intense. Sean Connery is killing it. Alec Baldwin is killing it. Everyone is killing it. The tension is palpable. I was just drinking my water and then this loud noise happened and it kind of scared me a little bit.
Respond. The controls don't respond.
Is this a fake? Is this to get everyone out? That'd be smart if it is.
Contaminated. Simply changing the air won't do. We've got to get the men off. Sir, we have been sabotaged.
We've got to get the men off.
Surface. We'll evacuate the men to the deck.
Aye, Captain. Service the ship.
Actually a genius move. Actually a genius play. This is on purpose. And they've actually got them with the boats up as shelters. Oh my god, Sean Connery is a genius.
Captain, I think he means to board us.
That's good. That's okay. Dude, this is actually a genius play. This is big galaxy brain play. The music as well. And the sound of the ocean. It's just so powerful, you know?
Now.
Oh my god, that's an actual torpedo?
400 yards. 300 yards.
Oh, okay, I was worried for a moment. James Earl Jones is the best.
Moving. Dallas, this is Reuben James.
Oh my god, and they have that sub. I forgot about this thing.
Dallas, this is the Mystic. Request clearance for launch.
Wait! Oh my god, of course. Jack Ryan is his name. I forgot that Jack Ryan was like the main character of all of Tom Clancy's stuff.
600 yards in closing.
Roger, steer right to course 075.
400.
Guns are unneeded. If you kill that guy who wants to go to Montana, I will actually whack you in the face. As nice as you are, I'll whack you in the face.
Jesus, that's a big sucker.
They sound like they're discovering the Titanic for the first time. It must be weird to open a hatch knowing you're underwater and just hoping.
Спускайтесь осторожно. Сюда.
I like that they're speaking Russian now. Oh, that's cool. That's cool because they've been speaking Russian the whole movie. I like it. I like what they did with the languages here. Look how awesome this looks. He doesn't smoke, but he does now.
Немного. Полезно знать, что думает противник.
Did he say, do you speak Russian? And then he said a little bit.
Very well.
I love how he just has no accent when he's speaking English. No Russian accent.
Shooting at us again.
Pitch is too high. The torpedo's Russian.
What do you mean another torpedo? Where the hell did it come from?
It's a Russian torpedo? Oh, no, 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 no. Stupid heads.
Don't have a detonation. The weapon enabled on the far side.
I forgot about these guys. Remember, I was like, where are they? Of course they come back at the wrong time.
Reload both tubes.
Pelican, get me power. And get that damn thing off my boat.
His name's almost Pelican. I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
Go to battle stations. That'll stay up.
You don't want to shoot down a Russian sub, though. That could end very badly.
Estimate range 3,000 yards, closing awfully fast.
I don't even know what he has up his sleeve, because I don't understand what he's doing.
Since we're all wrong, Brian.
10 seconds.
Halsey acted stupidly.
9, 8,
Oh.
7.
I love this. I love this.
Impact.
Huh?
By turning into this torpedo, the captain closed the distance before it could arm itself.
Oh, that's kind of genius.
Are you water solution yet?
Then it's a little rough, but
Oh my god. Why are you doing this? No. I knew he was gonna die. This lovable man who wanted to move to Montana. You don't say your dreams in film if you're a secondary character because you're going to die.
I've seen Montana.
I wish you could have seen Montana too. That's actually top 10 anime deaths of all time, probably.
Captain, take the con.
Fire control's blasted to hell.
Then get in behind him and stay there.
Captain, wait.
I like how they're calling each other captain. I like that respect.
You may need this, sir.
This American captain is so good. Sean Connery, captain, so good. Boom! Together, best team in the world.
40 gauge to the ignition sockets.
Oh no! He was shot?
Here, don't react too well to bullets.
Yeah, guns on a sub. Not the greatest idea in the world. Whoa. The missile silo. Oh, that's actually so epic. That's so epic. Yes, taking the jacket off makes you stealthier. Oh, what's this? Sacrifice? What is this? A sub sacrificing itself?
All right, Chief. Put us on the roof.
Countermeasure station on my mark. 5.
Good job, Mr. Thompson. Yes! Whoa, it's breaching like a whale. That's so cool.
Searching for another target now.
The stupid torpedo. Get a life. Go home.
Cook.
The cook.
Stop it,
The cook did it. It wasn't the doctor. It was the cook. Ah, I should have known the look that the cook gave after the keys were taken.
Turning straight at him. Torpedo's still on our tail.
Oh my god, what if they make the torpedo hit the other sub? The sub that shot it. Ah. Ah, let's go. Oh my god, that looks so cool. Oh my god, that looks so cool.
Andre, you've lost another submarine?
He's like, oh, well, we put it like that. We did. Sorry.
My grandfather taught me to fish off that island right over there.
Nice. Fishing. Fishing. He wants to fish.
Do you still like to fish, Ryan?
Wanna go fishing.
Christopher Columbus.
It looks like Alec Baldwin is almost transparent. That shot, it looks like you could see through it. What if Sean Connery goes to Montana for his friend? That would be so nice. And he's sleeping on a plane. And he's got a bear, just like the daughter wanted. And that was my review to... I almost said that was my review to Sean Connery. That was my review to The Hunt for Red October, the 1990 action thriller starring Alec Baldwin, Sean Connery, Scott Glenn, Sam Neill, James Earl Jones, Tim Curry, Stellan Skarsgård. So many people in this darn movie. This movie was so good. The first half of the movie, I enjoyed. The second half of the movie was amazing. The tension got like 10 times intensified. The action became amazing, but that does not mean I did not enjoy the first half. The first half of this movie was a very good slow burn. The dialogue was great. You could feel the tension starting to build, but the second half of the movie was really where the tension kicked in. I really like this movie, and I can see why my dad likes this movie. This is definitely a dad movie. Getting into the reviews of the movie really quickly before I get into the music of the movie, followed by just anything else that I thought about. This movie has a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, which is audience, and 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. So critics adored this movie. Audiences really like this movie. 7.6 is not a bad score by any means, and this is an old movie too, 1990, so it's had a lot of time to get reviews from audience members. I think that 7.6 is a great rating for this movie, but I also think that I would agree with you if you said that this movie was like almost a masterpiece in a way, because there is a lot of stuff that this movie did right in terms of being an action movie and being a thriller movie and being a movie that is really confined into one or two very close claustrophobic environments, if you will. Getting into the music for this movie, Basil Pastorius, I'm sorry if I'm messing up any part of his name. I'm not sure how to say his name, even after watching Conan the Barbarian and even after watching Starship Troopers, and I think he did the music for RoboCop as well, but I'm sorry, I just have a hard time pronouncing his name. So that composer, he is so good. The music in this movie was amazing. It felt like I had Russian influences, or at least Eastern European influences, with the singing, this like operatic choir singing in the background. And I don't know if music like that in Eastern Europe sounds like that, but for Hollywood movies, every time you go to Eastern Europe, this sort of music plays, so you know, you're like, oh, we're in Russia now, because there's people singing, there's like a choir singing, you know? So I thought that even maybe if it's not the music that they listen to and stuff, it's like, it was an amazing score. Don't get me wrong, it was powerful, it was thrilling, it was suspenseful, it like really brought, I don't know, power is the word I guess I'm seeing, power to the scenes, and it emphasized the giantness of this scene. For example, the scene that is sticking out to me the most at the moment with this score was when all the lifeboats were on top of Sean Connery's sub, and then they're trying to get off. The American ship is pretending to fire missiles at it, and it's just missing, and then the waves are crashing into the side of the sub, and the soundscape for that sequence, the actual sound design, the music was powerful, it was loud, it was big, but then the waves were the same, like the same decibels, I guess, as the sound. So the waves and the music were at the exact same level of noise. So when the waves would crash in, it would overpower the music, and you'd hear the power of the waves, and the waves would subside, and then the music of the choir would kick in again. And it was just a very powerful sequence, and it was a very dramatic sequence, and it worked very, very well. There were also a lot of times in this movie where there was no sound, or maybe only the sound of the sub, only the diegetic sound in the scene, which I thought was awesome. It really helped immerse you into the scene, and it really just, it made you feel this tension, especially with the radar. They use the radar to a T, and a lot of movies have this radar thing where the radar go boop 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 boop, boop faster and faster, and it makes you feel stressed because there's this noise that's getting faster and faster, and you can't really control it and stuff, and that is kind of the reason why it's making you feel stressed. But I thought that this movie did it really, really well. There were a lot of times where they had this radar thing, and sometimes they'd accompany it with music, sometimes they wouldn't accompany it with music, but the beeping of the radar when it was the only noise, everything else was quiet, even the crew members were quiet, listening to Sean Connery do these orders as a torpedo is heading straight towards you, and all you can hear as the sound is boop boop, and it gets faster and faster, and then maybe there's a call like 20 seconds, 15 seconds, like how intense is that? I was sweating. My hands were sweating in those scenes, and that is just purely because of the sound and / the lack of sound, but not maybe purely because of that. The filmmaking in this movie was phenomenal. The camera work was amazing. The way that it would focus on characters, it would always pan from a character. There was a lot of this in this movie, panning from a character to a character talking, to a character talking, back to another character talking, and then maybe one more just in case, maybe just in case they were feeling left out. There was a lot of panning between characters talking, which I did not mind at all. In fact, I actually loved it a lot. There weren't a lot of over-the-shoulder conversations, these just normal generic conversations. A lot of the camera work was very creative with how it was shot and how the conversations were shot, which is something that I did not expect in this movie. And another thing why I appreciate the camera work a lot in this movie, it was because for the majority of the movie, it's taking place in a submarine. And how hard would that be to film on this submarine set? How cramped it is. It would be hard to move the cameras around, having all these actors and then also a crew behind you in this very confined space. And yes, maybe it is only half a submarine for a lot of it, and then the wall is taken out, and then there's you have a lot of room for crew. But even then, it's still such a cramped thing. You have to get very creative with these very basic camera movements, and I thought that the movie nailed them. The conversations were always interesting, even when it was just talking about politics or something, which for me, I'm not a big fan of politics, I guess. I don't find it interesting to watch in a movie, but it was interesting because of the way the characters would interact, but then also the camera work was very fluid, but it still felt confined in a way, and it just worked really well with this scene. I thought they did a great job. The action in this movie as well was really good, and overall there wasn't that much action. If you really think about this movie, there's not too much action in it per se. I guess you could count the trench scene as an action set piece. I don't know. I wouldn't classify it as a set piece though, because a set piece I feel like to me is more an explosion. Like the final act of this movie I feel like was a big action set piece with the subs swimming around each other and then explosions of the different subs and the torpedo and then the gunfight in the sub. I think that is an action set piece, but the actual inside the trench and stuff was more of an action sequence in a way, and the other one is a sequence as well, but it's also a set piece. I don't really know how I'm trying to describe this right now, but anyways, there wasn't too much action in this movie. It was a lot of talking. It was a lot of trying to figure out this dangerous, very, very dangerous, potentially world-changing situation. It was a lot of lying. It was a lot of lying to people who you knew were lying to you, but then you were lying to them to get them to tell the truth, but then you were also lying to them to keep your secrets. It was a very interesting movie. There was a lot of dynamics happening at play, a lot of the characters overlapping with other characters, a lot of characters arguing with other characters or getting along with other characters, or I don't know, it was just very interesting. But the action, especially in the third act, was amazing to watch. That sub battle, and I know the torpedo looked a little janky because they would have had to green screen that or blue screen that or whatever, or it was just a fake torpedo overall. It was just a CGI thing. It looked a little janky, but that did not take me out of the movie at all. It was stressful, especially with the radar bleeps, but then the explosion that happened when they blew up their own sub was amazing. And then Sean Connery's tactics, the captain's tactics, Marco's tactics, were so much fun to witness when he would just turn him into the torpedo. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea that a torpedo takes time to arm itself, and that makes a lot of sense now, but I didn't know that. So when he turned into the torpedo, I was like, what are you doing? But he was so calm, so collected, and I loved that about his character. The music went silent. All you can hear was the bing, bing, bing of the radar, and it was just cinema. It was just cinema. It was so good. The only thing that I don't think I liked about this movie was the twist of the cook. I think I would have preferred it to have been the doctor, just because there was a lot of complaining, and I get that the doctor was there to be sort of this red herring. The whole movie you're going to be the doctor is this person, and if it was the doctor in the end, you'd be I knew it from the start, so it wasn't really that much of a surprise. I'm disappointed in the movie. I know a lot of people would have said that, but at the same time, having the doctor or having the cook as a surprise twist sabotager kind of doesn't really, it makes sense to me, but I feel like it is not that fleshed out, and it is also just kind of there for a surprise so people don't go, oh, it was the Doctor, and I knew that from the second the Doctor was on screen. And then they talked about sabotage, which, by the way, the Doctor was barely on screen. Tim Curry almost had no screen time in this movie, so that kind of sucked. I was expecting a lot more, but that didn't really suck in the end because this movie was great, I guess. But I just didn't like that the cook was the twist sabotager. It just felt like it was there for the sake of a twist. We only saw him once, I think, in the entire movie at the start when Sean Connery takes the 2 keys. And there is a look of, like, I don't like what he's doing right now. There is a look of that on the guy's face, and the camera does linger on his face. I will give them that. The camera does linger on his face for a little bit. However, that is the only time. So at the same time, it just doesn't feel earned. If the Doctor had done it, even though I'm sure every single person in the movie theater watching it would have been like, oh, I knew it was the Doctor, it would have felt more earned because the Doctor had had a little bit more character development, a little bit more arguing with the Captain. And I thought that that is kind of my only issue with this movie in general. The sets for this movie were also really, really good. And I don't know if they used real submarines for this or not. There were definitely sequences where I thought they were real submarines and sequences where I thought they were fake submarines, but I don't know if they actually filmed on a real submarine because the set that they were on looked amazing, and I don't know what the inside of a submarine looks like. I am no submarine expert, but if you have told me that that was a real submarine, I would believe you. If you told me that was a fake submarine, I'd be like, oh, it looks very real though, you know? So I don't know if they used a real one to film in, but if they did, that is awesome. But I'm pretty sure that they used a real submarine for a lot of the on top of water sequences when they'd go to the surface. And then especially when the helicopter was flying overhead and Alec Baldwin had to fall down into the sub or get roped down or something into the sub. That looked real. So I think there were definitely a lot of real sub shots, but then also a lot of CGI sub shots. A lot of whenever they were in the water, for the most part, it looked like it was CGI, but let me know if I'm wrong on that one. Okay, getting into the cast now. I don't really know who I'm going to talk about yet because there are so many people in this movie. Tim Curry did a good job. James Earl Jones did a good job. And as much as I'd like to talk about them, I don't think I have enough time to talk about them. And they also weren't in the movie enough to maybe warrant a talk. But I thought that they were good in this movie. But Sam Neill was really good in this movie. I was trying to figure out where he's from. I think he's from Jurassic Park. If I'm wrong, please let me know, but I think Sam Neill is from Jurassic Park. So Sam Neill as Vasily Borodin. Sorry if I said his name completely wrong. It could be Vasily Borodin. He was awesome in this movie, and I'm so sad he died, but as soon as he started to talk about Montana, and I was like, you are not a main character, sir. You cannot be talking about your hopes and aspirations and dreams when you were not a main character, because that means you're going to die. So his death was not a surprise to me. However, it was still emotional, and he was probably one of my favorite characters. I think Sean Connery was my favorite character, but I think Sam Neill came in a close second. He was just super sweet. He was super nice, and his chemistry and dynamic as a character, but also as an actor with Sean Connery, worked very well for me in this movie, and I liked him a lot. Scott Glenn as Bart. What a fun name, Bart. He was amazing in this movie. I wasn't sure if I was going to like him at first because I thought the American subs were just going to be like just huge dicks about this whole scenario, but he actually listened to Alec. I mean, he wasn't really going to, but then the turn happened and then he listened to Alec, and I loved him after that moment. The way that he would listen to Alec, the way that he was accepting of Sean Connery, of the Russians, because a lot of times they'd just be like, oh, we're different, we're not good. But when he handed Sean Connery the gun, I was like, when they called each other Captain Sean Connery and Scott Glenn's characters called each other captains, I was like, it's so good. I thought he was an amazing character in this movie, an amazing foil to a lot of the maybe other characters, an amazing foil to Stellan Skarsgård's character, for example, but also a good comparison for Russian and American and how they're just kind of the same, you know? I really liked him as a character, and I thought he did a great job. Sean Connery as Marco Ramius. Marco Ramius. I think that is how you say his name. I think he was, in my opinion, Sean Connery was the main character of this movie. I know Alec Baldwin is Jack Ryan, and I think Jack Ryan is the titular character of the books. But I think, in my opinion, Sean Connery's Marco Ramius was the main character of this movie. He was stunning. I think this might be my favorite Sean Connery performance. I haven't seen too many of them. I would like to get into more, but I think this might be my favorite. He was so good. He was so calculated. He was so cold at times, but also so warm at times. The way he cared for his crew, he made them get off. He was ingenious. He was genius. He was amazing. He was fabulous. He was Sean Connery. He didn't have a Russian accent, even though he was Russian and spoke fluent Russian, which was amazing. Just overall, great character. Loved him a lot. Sean Connery is an amazing actor, an iconic actor. Every single word he uttered out of his mouth was pure gold. And finally, last but not least, is Alec Baldwin as Jack Ryan. He played a good Jack Ryan. I don't know anything about the character of Jack Ryan, so I don't know if he played it right or played it wrong. I have no say, no opinion on the matter. I thought he was great in this movie. I loved his interactions with, I think he got to interact with almost every single one of these characters that is on every single one of these actors, and he did a great job with each and every one of them. His chemistry was great. His attitude towards everything was great. He was very good at this like happy guy who was just here, who was very inexperienced, but at the same time, very experienced. And I loved his dynamic with Sean Connery, especially at the end when they actually met each other. That was really good. And then when they were on top of the sub at the end, that was a very sweet moment. I thought Alec Baldwin did an amazing job as Jack Ryan. And that is it for my reaction for The Hunt for Red October. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot. I would like to check out more Sean Connery movies. I don't know which movies he's done, so I should definitely look into them. I haven't seen any of his James Bond movies, so I might check out like Dr. No or something at some point in the future. Maybe I'll do like but I've never seen any of the old James Bond movies. I've only seen the Daniel Craig era, which is amazing, by the way. But for some reason, even though I own all of the James Bond movies on DVD, well, I guess my dad owns them all, I've never seen them. So maybe I'll check out some Sean Connery James Bond one day. But besides that, that is it for my review. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.